In this tutorial, we'll show you some advanced properties of the Camel UI Builder. Assume that you have a window and you want to add a menu to it. In the main screen, in the upper toolbar, there is a button for New Menu Definition. When you click on this, a new pane and palette will appear. You can add a menu in this pane. A pop-up will appear and an ID is requested. This ID is required and needs to be unique. Once the ID is filled in and the Enter key is pressed, we see a menu on the pane. Double-clicking the menu item will enable to edit the menu item. In this case, we rename it File. Note, the ID is not changed. QAFE supports the idea of reusable components. First we define the component, a component definition, and then use it, possibly several times. So, we can repeat these steps for another menu item called Edit. Of course, we don't want to have all the menu items in one dimension. We want to have submenus also. We select another menu item from the palette. And now we drag and drop it in a menu item. In this case, the File menu item. This new menu item will be a submenu item of the File menu. Here, also the ID needs to be unique. By clicking on the newly created menu item, you will be able to rename it. We can even extend this idea of submenus by adding a new menu item to the newly created menu item from a moment ago. Note that the Camel UI Builder checks the ID when entering it. If it is not unique, the text field for the ID will turn red. Now make the correction and press OK. Note that the submenu item has a different orientation. You can hide or expand submenus by clicking on the parent menu. When all these items are created, we save the file. Now let us switch back to the current window. We select the window and go to the Properties view of that window. We look for the menu property of that window. When we click on the value behind the menu property, we see that the menu definition that we just defined is available. By selecting it, the menu is part of your application. The menu can also be reused by other windows and components. When a component has a menu reference, it becomes a context menu, which is invoked when you do a right mouse button click. The reusable components are quite powerful and will allow developers to efficiently reuse components.